Sagittarius.
Hello Sagittarius, this is your forecast for December 2013. This month here is your month, I have to say, because it is your rising sign. Happy birthday. So the sun and the new moon will be in your sign and in your first house. So this allows you really to radiate, shine, and come out and be. So it's a wonderful, beautiful time of the year for you. And especially when we have the new moon here, this is the time for you to set intentions for your personal self and what it is you want from this whole entire year coming up. It's like your New Year's, even before New Year's come along. So on December 2nd, this is when you want to write that abundant check to yourself, and also put in all of those things that where you see yourself on that horizon. Put it on there on December 2nd. Then we have Venus, which is in your second house for income. It is you overlooking your budgets, crunching numbers perhaps. Now Venus is going nearly through the whole entire sign here of Capricorn in your second house, but then she turns retrograde from December 21st. So she'll go back around, and when Venus is retrograde, well, that gives you some time, and then we're talking several weeks here, where it will go back and reflect and look over and once again start crunching numbers so that you can perhaps streamline your income or get some really good ideas on what it is you can do to enhance your financial situation. For many of you Sagittarians, I know this is going to be quite important because you have Pluto there, and we've been talking about that for several months. What Pluto is doing, you know, transforming your whole concept of what money and material goods really mean for you. That's what Pluto's work is all about. Now, having Pluto and Venus here in this house, well, it kind of gives it a little bit more intensity on not just the financial, but more so your viewpoint on the financial and how you can intensely, and when I say intensely, it's because Venus is also going to couple up here with Pluto and create a dynamic energy shift, and it will be felt physically, you know, in your wallet, but also here on the mindset of how it is you can transform your financial situation. So big things could come about and take on shape and form. If you're just sitting back and not doing anything, well, this can come and go, and you will lose the benefit of this for an entire year. It takes 1 year for Venus to kind of cycle around the chart once. So if you're listening to this forecast on the November end, pay attention to November 14th when Venus and Pluto are conjunct like this. It's going to bring about a situation that's really going to put things on the map for you right there. And whatever this is, it's a new start, new jolt. Go back a year and try to remember what happened then. But here you're instigating a new beginning, new start. And now as it passes throughout the weeks, the latter weeks of November, coming back in here in December, all the way to the 21st, when it turns retrograde, well, then it's going to go back over and do it again. Okay, so it's going to linger there for many, many weeks into the future. It gives you ample time right now to work on this, and even though you have a visit once a year by Venus in this area, you're not always that, should I say, lucky to have it retrograde and linger and stay in this financial sector for so long, many, many weeks, okay? So it's there to help you, but you have to be conscious, and then you got to take action. Then we have papers, documents. Be a little careful on the 6th, just because Mercury, communication, written documents, and any agreements is going to be square Neptune. Neptune can always come across as being very idealistic, beautiful, something that sounds good, but it might sound too good to be true, and maybe it is. It can also be very deceptive, so careful there on the 6th, don't sign. Lay low at least for a week, and then you can get back to it. Now, if it's still looking good, it may be good. because there is good news coming in here on the 10th from the very same Mercury, okay? Jupiter and Saturn, that's from your 8th house of joint finances and money you have with other people. It can be groups and organizations too, bankers and so forth, whatever joint ventures. But it's from your 8th house there, really now trining up towards Saturn. Saturn has been working on trying to structure something, trying to build a new foundation, perhaps. And this foundation would be within you. And Saturn is everything that's serious and grounded and structured. So Jupiter wants to expand this area. Now, Jupiter did go retrograde in November 7th. So, and it will be for 4 or 5 months. So it's going to slow things down a little bit. But the good news is that Saturn moves slowly, and as Jupiter goes backwards, they're still going to be intertwined, and they're intertwined in a good aspect. It's in a trine. So it's not all that bad. It's still going to be working for you. And some of you Sagittarians might see that opportunities may arise in these areas with financial groups, banks, insurance companies, trades and so forth, investments. Those opportunities may come as results of things that you started a little bit earlier on this year that didn't finalize, that didn't come to any fruition. Well, retrogrades brings those things back into the present, so that might be something here that you can look forward to as well. We have Uranus, planet of change. It has been retrograde for many months. It's going to turn direct on the 17th. If you have experienced that some of your creative projects have been delayed or dried up or slowed down, well, that's Uranus, and we need Uranus to help us, boost us, push us forward. That's what Uranus does best. So after the 17th, and for at least over the next 5-6 months, we shall see that change is going to start appearing, and hopefully that will be good change for you. The area where your Uranus is in the 5th house for love and creative projects, also children. So these areas here, they will get a boost. But also, it's going to start moving away from, once it goes direct, it's been in this square, this lock-in here, tying up your financial situation, your Pluto in the 2nd house, right? And you might have had a lot of pressure and stress and oppression, if not depression, in this area. So you might see that there's some change, but this change can come like a shift, like the tectonic plates, you know, earthquakes come like that, and that suddenly something might start giving, and then Uranus will start moving forward. So in that sense, it's good, but it's going to still be behind Pluto by a couple of degrees. So even when it moves forward, it needs to move forward and beyond the square of Pluto, so at 10 degrees. But after that, then you'll start seeing something alleviating. So we'll get back to that in January's forecast and see how far Uranus has moved by then. Then we have Venus is going to go retrograde. Venus rules money, it rules love, of course. And for you, Venus is in the 2nd house. So like I said, it's going to be moving in, working on your financial situations, as this Uranus also is going to try to help you tweak and shake up this whole scenario for you. On the 24th, we have Mercury is going to change signs. It's going to move into your 2nd house here to Capricorn. So out of that 1st house of yours, out of your sign, it's been lingering in your sign for extra weeks because it went retrograde, 3.5 weeks. So it's going to finalize that on Christmas Eve here on the 24th and move into your financial area. And then we have Christmas Eve also, just really beautiful here with Sun and Mercury sextiling Neptune. So the atmosphere is good. You're all in that Christmas spirit, you know, Neptune always rules spirit. So we got that going. Just be very careful, as I've said to everybody else here too, Be careful when you're out and about traveling. It is a time for a lot of people to travel on the 24th. Whether you're flying, there might be delays at the airports, because Mars can get very frustrated when it's not, moving as it wants to. And being opposed to Uranus, well, that can cause delays or disruptions of sorts. And if you're in traffic, just keep your eye on the road there, especially up there in the slippery, cold country, driving on ice and so forth, okay? Promise me that. Then we have the last week. We got a lot of energy. Well, it could be complex, but definitely challenges. And it's just because we have the Sun and Mercury. The Sun being you, Mercury being our mind and our communication, and Mars being feisty as he likes to be. Well, it's going to be squaring Uranus. So there might be some disagreements, there might be words, and then Mars here is going to be square Pluto, and it's like if one party doesn't give up there, well, the other party is not going to settle down or in. So we can have this energy going on there on the 29th, 30th, and this is leading us up to New Year's, but we will speak more about that here when we get to the January forecasts, because all of these energies, this little stellium right now is going to sit there on top of the scope for January, coloring the whole entire year, by the way, and it will definitely filter through what's in our charts here next month. But here we're closing off this year, and so as long as you're forewarned, you're forearmed. If somebody wants to be a little bitchy on that day or these days, recognize it for what it is and just take a low key. Don't buy into it if you can avoid it. Now, these energies are also going to be global, so of course we got governments that are going to be in under these influences as well. So we just hope, that we can gather together, all of us, send a lot of positive white light out into the world. There's so much going on there, Middle East, and now we just had this typhoon that hit here, the Philippines here, just here the last couple of days as I speak. And my heart goes out to all of them, all the victims there. So white light is something that the whole entire planet can need. So please join me on that, and especially when we get to the end of the year, heading up towards New Year. So these aspects throughout the month, we go through them every single day on the website, on the daily astroscopes, and there's also horoscopes. There's a few freebies out there, so go and try them if you haven't tried them, so you can know how they work. But now listen, as we end up, do go and listen to your moon and your rising sign, so you can hear what else is up with you here now in December. So take care, Sagittarius. I'll see you next month.